The following is a Dowling Catholic sports presentation on Iowa Catholic Radio. Our coverage of Dowling Catholic High School sports is underwritten by Ashworth Vision Clinic, Construction Professionals, Dental Associates, the Catholic Tuition Organization, Mercy One, and Skeffington's Formalware. Thank you for supporting Dowling Catholic sports on Iowa Catholic Radio.
One of the legendary mainstays here in Indianola, Rick Wilson, who's to your off your right shoulder, Rick up there in the balcony there.
Yeah.
He said they just redid the gym floor and new bleachers. So we're in our same spot, which is right behind the scorer's table and benches up here again on press, or that's their version of press row.
Yeah.
And we have Dowling and Johnston for the second time this year, Steve. And winners tonight as 4A goes to the Substate finals. 3A was here last night. One of the 3A teams had winner set, knocking off Pella. Place was packed to the gills.
Yeah.
And Winterset pulled I don't know if a mild upset, but they knocked off Pella to go to state. And we got a lot of games going on tonight. We'll try to keep you abreast of some of them. Up at the Lincoln Gym, it's Waukee Northwest taking on Urbandale. Urbandale, a mild upset. They knocked off Indianola last Friday night here at the Indianola Gym. So if anything's surprising, this gym floor has got some upset left in it. Maybe we'll see if they have another one.
That would sure be nice, wouldn't it?
That would.
Yeah.
So it's Waukee Northwest and Urbandale tonight at the Lincoln Gym. Other games has the Valley Tigers taking on Cedar Falls. That game being played in Marshalltown tonight. Number 1 Ames taking on Hoover, and that's at the Ankeny Centennial Gym. And finally, Ankeny taking on Waukee, and that game being played at Dallas Center Grind. So 5 out of the 8 substates involve CIML teams. Other games going on tonight, Cedar Rapids Kennedy taking on Cedar Rapids Washington. That game being played in Solon. Pleasant Valley taking on Burlington, that game at Muscatine High School. And finally, Cedar Rapids Prairie and Dubuque Hempstead, that game being played at Clinton High School. Here it's Dowling and Indianola as the teams are out warming up, as we're about 8 minutes away from starting lineups introductions. And, Steve, what do you think? You play a team 3 times. Well, who you don't do it in football and very seldom in other sports, but we're going to see this happen for Dowling, and for the second time in the postseason, the Dowling boys are playing somebody they've already played during the regular season. The Maroons got their only a victory over a top 10 team last Friday night in Council Bluffs, beating Council Bluffs Abraham Lincoln. So the Maroons have knocked off one team this year in the top 10, but they're going to play another team they saw 2 other times. Talk about that matchup.
Yeah, well, as you know, it's difficult to beat any team 3 times in one season. That maybe gives an edge a little bit to the Maroons, but somehow we got to find a way to stop the 2-headed monster with Johnston, and that would be Lewis and Kramer. And what I like about the Maroons' chances, even though this would be just based on the records, a fairly large upset if it happens, would be the fact that in both games so far this year, the Maroons went toe-to-toe with Johnston, and at the end of the third quarter, it was basically an even game in both situations. So they've proven they can stay with them. The one thing that worries me a little bit is that Johnston got second last year to Waukee, and so they're kind of on a mission, that they still feel like this won't be complete unless they go all the way and win the title. So tough one for the Maroons tonight. But like Clay said in the post game the other night, we're here. We have a chance. We made it this far. And we know all about these guys, and they know about us, and they were looking forward to the battle. So are we.
Absolutely. Again, Mark Amadale and Steve DeVinny here at Indianola High School. Dowling and Johnston, the winner, will move on next week to play in the 4A state basketball tournament down at Wells Fargo Arena. The 4As start play on Wednesday, beginning at 10:30 in the morning. They have the first 4 games of the day. The girls' state basketball tournament going on today, and congratulations to the teams that advanced yesterday. Johnston and Valley from the CIML both advanced. Pleasant Valley from Eastern Iowa advancing, and you look at those teams. That'll be an interesting matchup as you go to the 4A, as you go to the semifinals. And I think West Waterloo and Johnston would be my pick. West Waterloo defeating City High of Iowa City. I think it would be West Waterloo in one bracket and Johnston out of the other bracket, maybe playing for state titles on Friday night. They'll play at 6 o'clock for the girls' state tournament. So that's just I'm throwing out my 2 cents.
Sure. Well, Dowling went toe-to-toe
with Johnston
with
for the third time.
With the same school here yesterday morning at 10:30. And the bottom line is that the Maroons, that was a 8, 9, 10-point game. I mean, they played their tails off and came up a little bit short, but really rose to the challenge yesterday morning.
All right, we'll take a break here on our pregame show as we are broadcasting from Indianola High School boys Class 4A Substate Final. Dowling taking on Johnston for the third time this year. Brady Grimm is our student producer, and alongside Steve DeVinny, I'm Mark Amadale. We'll continue with our pregame show. We'll have starting lineups coming up here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Ashworth Vision Clinic. Complete eye exams, contact lenses, glasses, glaucoma testing, and pre- and post-operative care. 515-440-4610. AshworthVision.com.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Construction Professionals. Construction Professionals does remodeling and new construction. Construction Professionals is a Catholic family business built on a strong foundation. CPCustomHomes.com. Thank you, Construction Professionals, for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio. Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Dental Associates, addressing your smile needs and dreams. 515-225-6742. Des Moines-DentalAssociates.com. Thank you, Dental Associates, for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio. Support for Iowa Catholic Radio comes from Mercy One, your expert circle of personalized care for all your health needs. With more care locations than anyone, your best life is their one purpose. Find your doctor at mercy1.org.
Listener-supported Iowa Catholic Radio, 1150 AM KWKY Des Moines, 94.5 FM K233BT Des Moines, 88.5 FM KIHS Adel, 90.9 FM KLOX Creston.
And we're back here at Indianola High School alongside Steve DeVinny, Mark Amadale, as we preempt our regular programming tonight. Bring you boys Substate Final basketball. The winner moves on to the boys state basketball tournament next week. It's Dowling and Johnston for the third time this year. The Dragons come in. Their record is 18-3, and they defeated Norwalk last Friday night, 60-49, to advance to tonight's game. Of course, Dowling, the game we brought to you on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network last Friday night, defeated Council Bluffs Abraham Lincoln 42-39 to hand the eighth-ranked Council Bluffs Lynx their final game of the year. They finished with a record of 15-6. And Steve, as I mentioned, Maroons have played a lot of quality teams. They've had, probably well over 10, 12 teams that were ranked at one point in time during the season, but they have not gotten a win over them until last Friday night in Council Bluffs. So a road win against a ranked team, and first time all year Dowling has won 3 in a row.
Yeah. No, I didn't even realize 3 in a row. That's a great point. They won their last regular season game against East High, and now 2 in a row in the playoffs.
Right.
So, yeah, no, I think that was a huge win last week. And as Clay said in the postgame show with us, they've been in so many of those games all year and just haven't really been able to get over the hump until last Friday. So that was a huge win. Should give these guys a little bit of momentum, and we'll see where it takes them.
All right, let's take a look at tonight's starting lineups. Dowling is the visiting team. They're wearing their road gray uniforms, maroon trim, with a little bit of white sprinkled in. And Maroons head coach in his first year is Clay Thielking. 9 wins, 14 losses. That's Dowling's record this year. Clay is assisted by Jimmy Nahas, Nick Wagner, and they put Kevin O'Hare on the bench. They've done that all year, although he did have to drive himself to Council Bluffs last Friday. I told him there's a reason for that. Couldn't be on the bus. And the Maroons will start this lineup. They'll start at one guard. Carson Brown, a 6'2 senior, averaging 8.5 points, 5 rebounds. He leads the team in steals and block shots. He'll wear number 3. The other guard is Davis Scheck, a 5'11 junior, averaging just over 7 points a contest, and he'll wear number 11. The third guard is Joey Capola, a 5'10 sophomore, averaging just over 4 points. He'll wear number 15. And the fourth guard for Dowling is Drew Marr, the Maroons' leading scorer. He averages 13.5 points a contest, leads the team with made threes with 44, and he has not scored in the last 2 contests, and he'll wear number 25. And finally, at center for Dowling, Jalen Pettis, a 6'3 senior, averaging 7.5 points, leads the team in rebounding with 6 per game. He'll wear number 43. So it'll be Carson Brown, Davis, Joey Coppola, Drew Marl, and Jalen Pettis, the 5 starters for Dowling. Off the bench, we'll see Charlie Stewart, a 6'3 senior, and either Jack Odie, a 6'3 junior, or Mata Brua, a 6'4 senior, and possibly Colin Clark, a 6'1 junior. That'll be Dowling's bench. As the Maroons' record I mentioned is 9-14. They come in averaging 56.6 points on offense and give up 54.7 points on defense. Now for the home team on the scoreboard here at Indianola, and that is the Johnston Dragons. And their head coach is Brian Frick in his 3rd year, 45 wins, 16 losses. He's assisted by Andy Woodley and Josh Kennedy. Dragons come in averaging 69 points, and they give up 55 points on defense. They bring an 18-3 record and a number 7 ranking into tonight's game, and they'll start this lineup. At one guard, Mason Ryan, a 6-foot senior, and he averages 9 points a contest, wearing number 2. The second guard is Trey Lewis, a 5'10 senior, averaging 22.5 points, and he'll wear number 3. Third guard for Johnston is Stephen Kramer, 6'5 senior, averaging 15.5 points, and he'll wear number 5. At one forward will be Nathan Roosh, 6'4 junior, averaging 7.5 points, and he'll wear number 15. At center for Johnston, Jacob Simpson gets the start, a 6'5 sophomore, averaging 4.5 points. So Mason Ryan, Trey Lewis, Stephen Kramer, Nathan Roosh, and Jacob Simpson, the 5 and the 4 for Johnston. As the Dragons coming off a win over Norwalk on Friday, Dowling coming off a win over Council Bluffs Abraham Lincoln, and Steve DeVinny. That's our starters. What are some of the keys that you see in this contest? I got to think foul trouble, especially for Dowling. They have that small window with their bench. Foul trouble's got to be key.
Very well said. Maroons are going to have to keep some of their best players on the floor without getting in foul trouble. I mentioned earlier, you got to try to find some way to stop or slow down Kramer and Trey Lewis. Those are really fine players. And for the Maroons, I think one of the keys is they haven't been shooting the ball from the perimeter very well. If they don't tonight, they probably don't have much of a chance. They're going to have to make some baskets.
And ironically, Dowling has won the first 2 games of the tournament without their leading scorer, Drew Marl, scoring any points. That can happen tonight against this Johnston team. We're going to take a break, come back with the tip-off between Dowling and Johnston here at Indianola High School. Alongside Steve DeVinny, I'm Mark Amadale. But first, a word from Dr. Dan Ryan, the president of Dowling Catholic High School, and our pregame prayer with Father Ryan Andrew. And we'll be back here at the Indianola High School for the tip-off between Dowling and Johnston here on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Hi, this is Dr. Dan Ryan, president of Dowling Catholic High School, and welcome to another season of exciting Dowling High School basketball. We are proud to be partners with Iowa Catholic Radio, not only broadcasting basketball, but also being partners in preparing Christ-centered leaders for life. Go Maroons!
Hello, my name is Father Ryan Andrew, and I'm the chaplain at Dowling Catholic High School. Let us pray for the coaches, players, and trainers for this athletic competition. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. Heavenly Father, we thank you for all your gifts. We ask you to bless all those involved in this athletic competition tonight. We ask that you keep them safe, and that they all show good sportsmanship. We ask this through Christ our Lord, amen. All holy men and women, pray for us. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen.
Welcome back to the Johnston High School Gymnasium. Indianola High School Gymnasium alongside Steve DeVinny. Mark Amadale, we want to thank Brady Grimm for being alongside tonight, our studio producer, as it's Dowling and Johnston here at Indianola High School for a Substate final. And pretty neat addition here, Steve DeVinny. They bring the flag down from the ceiling and hang it right over the court, and everybody is surrounded by the American flag here. I have not seen that in a high school setup. My question would be, I hope it doesn't get stuck going on the way up, because you might need that at half court.
Well, they would have to stop play, get the ladders out, and remove it.
I don't think a ladder.
Thank goodness it didn't happen.
I don't think we have a ladder. You might have a lift.
Exactly.
All right, we're about ready to tip it off. Jalen Pettis tipping up against Jacob Simpson, and Dowling wins a tip as Pettis tips it in the backcourt. We're underway. Dowling going left to right here at the Indianola gym towards the north basket. Drew Morrow with it underneath to Pettis. His shot up and rolls through. And Dowling out to an early 2-0 lead, and Drew Morrow got him set up with the play into Jalen Pettis.
Quick denial of Drew Morrow's left hand, forced him to his right, and he made the most of it with a great assist.
Well, here's Trey Lewis with it. Dowling stays man-to-man, their first defensive series. Here's Ryan in the lane. He shot off the glass too strong and tipped and slapped around by Jacob Simpson and keeps the ball alive into the hands of Ruish. Here's Kramer in the lane. Reverse layup up and good. Nice move by Stephen Kramer, their second leading scorer, and a little reverse layup.
Fine player, headed to the University of South Dakota next year, and smart kid, makes good decisions, and a skilled player as well.
All right, Carson Brown for three. Top of the left wing, it's no good. Everybody boxes out, and Johnston with the rebound. Ruish comes up with it.
Good look at it. Just didn't knock it down.
Tied at 2, Dowling and Johnston here at Indianola. Now here's a steal and a reverse pass by Drew Morrow in the lane. His shot up and good. Morrow with the basket. That breaks. He's off the snide there, Steve, after having the last 2 games he didn't score. And it's 4-2 Dowling, and an offensive foul called against Johnston and Trey Lewis as he took Capola down.
Excellent defense there by the sophomore. Capola was in good guarding position. Trey Lewis lowered his shoulder, and Capola was able to pick up the charge.
Offensive foul on Trey Lewis, his first. He is the leading scorer for Johnston, and he's one of the top 5 and 6 categories in Class 4A. In three-pointers made, he's third. In points, he's fourth. And he's in 5th place in assists, 3-point attempts, free throw percentage, and defensive rebounds. So that's the kind of player Trey Lewis is, and he's off to Drury University to play basketball next year down at Springfield, Missouri. That's a D2 school. So he's already got a foul. Now Dowling turns it over here, Steve. Johnson gets the ball underneath to their big guy, Jacob Simpson, and he shoots and scores, a 6'5 sophomore. And we're tied at 4 with 6 minutes left to go first quarter.
Maroons are, Johnston is denying Drew Morrow the ball early on here.
These two teams have met twice during the regular season. Both wins were by Johnston, 59-41 at Dowling on January 31st. And then in February, 58-49 at the Johnston gym. Johnston with the steal and a slam dunk by Kramer. That was set up nicely by Mason Ryan. And Kramer now with 4 points, and the Dragons lead by 2.
It's a big-time athletic slam dunk there by Kramer. Big-time play.
That was a 2-on-1 fast break. Dowling with the ball.
Maroons can't turn it over.
It's Sheck, Capola, Marr, the 3 guards with Carson Brown and Jalen Pettis in the paint. And now a pass on the baseline by Brown. And Capola couldn't handle the pass. And now our first substitution, Sam Tornabane, a 6'5 junior. Here we believe Jacob Simpson in the post. He's a young man who's come out of nowhere. He only had like a couple of threes on the year. He now has 17. He's become the 6th man for the Dragons.
Yeah. Fast-paced play so far. Excuse me.
All right, here's Kramer underneath. His shot is up and no good. And a whistle and a foul on Dowling will be on Carson Brown. And free throws coming for Kramer.
Hesitation dribble there by Kramer. Got Carson on his back, and Carson ended up committing the personal.
So
Not happy about it.
So Kramer at the free throw line, where he's an 84% free throw shooter on the year. Averages 15.5 points, 7.5 rebounds. First free throw good. Dowling with its first substitution of the contest. Coming in is Charlie Stewart, wearing number 23, a 6'3 senior. Averaging 8 points, 5 rebounds. So the Maroons get some numbers off the bench also. 7-4 is our score. Johnston with the lead over Dowling. We're here at Indianola High School. Second free throw is good. Want to thank Lee Nelson. He is the athletic director here. He hosted last night's Substate final between Pella and Winterset.
Busy man.
And Winterset, he said the house was packed. We're not even close to being packed here tonight. Let's have a great radio audience, so be careful,
Absolutely.
Steve. Here's Sheck in the lane. His shot up and short. Gets his own rebound. Morrow for three. Top of the key. Off the mark. No good. Fight for the rebound, and Kramer comes away with it for Johnston as Dowling trails by 4, 8-4.
Maroons are going to have to keep it close here early, hang around, try to make those adjustments.
Oh, long three by Lewis. Off the mark, no good. Fight for the rebound. Ball still on the floor and retrieved by Ruish. Dragons keep their possession. Kramer for three. Top of the key, good. Right over Charlie Stewart. Kramer now with 9 of Johnston's 11 points, and it's a 11-point lead for Dowling, and the Maroons call timeout. We'll keep it here. It'll be a 30-second timeout with 4:14 remaining, first quarter. Johnston 11, Dowling 4 here on Iowa Catholic Radio. Alongside Steve DeVinny, I'm Mark Ambadell. I want to thank our supporters of Iowa Catholic Radio. They include Skeptic's Formal Wear, the Catholic Tuition Organization, and Mercy One. And Steve, the Maroons got off to a good start. They led 4-2. The Johnsons went on a 9-0 run since.
Second chance points are also big, Mark, and so far they've gotten a few rebounds. Johnston has. The other thing is they're very much in denial of passing to the wing, and so the Maroons are going to have to try to get north and south off the dribble, and maybe some backdoor cuts from the recipient of the – because the wings are really being denied. They're overplaying everything Johnston is very, very aggressively on defense.
And we invite you to like Iowa Catholic Radio on Facebook and follow Iowa Catholic Radio on Twitter. And reminder, thanks to everyone who donated to the Iowa Catholic Radio Spring Carathon last week. You still donate. Your donation is tax deductible. We are listener supported here on Iowa Catholic Radio. IowaCatholicRadio.com. Just click on the donate button. Mark Ambadale, Steve DeVinny. I want to thank Brady Grimm, our studio producer, back at the Iowa Catholic Radio studios in West Des Moines. Dowling with the ball at the timeout. Here's Drew Marl, who is guarded by Ruish. Marl skip pass over to Charlie Stewart. He'll launch the three, up and off the mark, no good. And the ball tipped out of bounds off of Carson Brown. Maroons had another good look at the basket, but couldn't get it to fall. The Liz suddenly went on the basket, and Johnson on a 9-0 run.
Good skip pass there by Morrow to the corner.
3:50 remaining, first quarter. Johnson 11, Dowling 4. Dragons running their offense against Dowling's man-to-man. Kramer backs in the lane, fall-away jumper, good. Kramer is on fire here in this first quarter as he's got 11 of Johnston's 13 points. 13-4 Dragons. Their lead is now 9 over Dowling, and underneath is Morrow, and he draws the foul, and a reach-in foul called on Nathan Ruish, the 6'4 junior, with his first.
They might have got Kramer.
Foul number 5, Kramer.
You're correct.
Yep, Kramer.
Eagle eye.
Well,
DeVinny.
you got your hands so full with the charts and play-by-play, and
that's why you're there.
I can give an assistance once in a while.
You did.
Yeah.
Johnson fans appreciate that. Now Dowling inbounds the ball. They get it to Charlie Stewart. He travels with the basketball as he wanted to start his drive down the top of the key. And Charlie's a guy that will be aggressive to the basket for the Maroons.
Yep. Just got to get that ball down before that pivot foot leaves.
Yeah. Fundamentals. 13-4 Johnston. Dragons have it. This is Trey Lewis all the way down. His shot is blocked by Carson Brown. Rebound, Drew Morrow. Maroons now in transition. Brown launches a three. Top of the key off the back iron. No good. Ball slapped around. And Lewis and Johnson come away with it with 3 minutes remaining in the quarter. Here's Lewis down court. Stops. And they're going to have a foul called. Two officials get together. This is our crew led by Chad Shellmeyer.
That's 2 on Carson Brown, Mark.
And Brown does pick up his second foul. You're right, Steve. And checking into the Dowling lineup will be Joey Coppola.
One of your keys to the game was to keep some of these guys, better players, out of foul trouble.
Yeah, you can't have foul trouble. And when you got a tight bench, which is about 6-7 deep for Dowling, as they played at Council Bluffs in the win Friday night. They only went 7 deep. Johnson inbounds the ball underneath their own basket. That's the second team foul on Dowling, 2 also on Johnson. Now a reaching foul on Charlie Stewart. That'll be his first. The Maroons now with 3 team fouls. Dowling trying to get aggressive and try to poke the ball away. You don't want I understand you don't want Kramer to have his way underneath as he has here in the first 5.5 minutes. The Maroons are now getting called for some fouls. Dragons inbound the ball to our left. Lewis with it in the lane. Is shot up and short and rebound. Coppola. Nice job by Joey. Just kept his hand up and didn't move.
Good defense again for the second time tonight. Coppola on Trey Lewis.
Marr with the ball over to Coppola. Reverse layup, no good. As Tornabane bothered that shot, kind of altered it, and rebound out to Johnston. They go down court and lose it out of bounds, but it'll be Johnston possession with 2:30 remaining here in the first quarter. Inbounding the ball will be Mason Ryan. We haven't seen Talon Proctor in the game yet, number 4. He's the sophomore, and he will take Ryan's place next year. And now on the inbounds play, Sheck with the steal, stolen back by Kramer, now stolen again by Dowling and Pettis. So you call that exchange of turnovers? That's the scorekeeper.
I'm not sure the Dowling or Johnston the first time ever had true possession.
Pull-up jumper by Sheck. It's no good. It rolls off the rim. The rebound, Kramer. And the Johnston Dragons with as we approach the 2-minute mark of the first quarter. Johnston 13, Dowling 4 here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network. Here's Kramer. Pull-up jumper, left elbow, no good. Rebound slapped around, and Tornabane tipped it into the hands of Lewis, and the Dragons get another possession. Now Lewis underneath is shot up and good. Strong move by Trey Lewis, and that is his first basket. 15-4 Johnston. The lead is now 11 over Dowling. Minute 35 remaining. First quarter from the Indianola gym. There's Coppola with the ball. Top the key to Sheck. Pull-up jumper, no good. Rebound Johnston and Kramer. Lid is on that basket for Dowling. If the Maroons had an 11-2 lead, or a 4-2 lead, they have not scored since. Now Kramer on the baseline. His shot is no good. Ball tipped out of bounds by Morrow, and the Dragons will inbound the ball. Now Proctor will check in. Taylor Proctor, 5'11 sophomore. Dad was one of the assistant coaches for Johnston. Bill Proctor, not coaching this year, to watch this young man play in some of those JV and varsity games. One of the first players off the bench for.
Well, Johnston is deep and they're experienced, and they've got a couple, one Division I and one Division II player, and so far they're really executing.
They certainly are. Here's Proctor with it, gets stuck in the lane. Walk. And they're going to call him for the travel. And 3 seconds. Take your pick. 3 seconds, Steve, officially.
Yeah. Wow.
15-4. Johnston with the lead. 1 minute left here in the first quarter from the Indianola gym. Dowling and Johnston tonight. The winner punches their ticket to the Boys State Basketball Tournament. Class 4A begins on Wednesday morning. They have the first 4 games on Wednesday. Dowling with the ball underneath Pettis. His shot up. Partially blocked. It goes through as I think Ruish got a piece of it.
Yeah, big basket for the Maroons. Keep this baby close early. Hang around.
And that was about a 4-minute drought that Dowling snapped. It's 15-6 Johnston. Underneath, Lewis with it. Ball rolls around, misses, and Lewis gets his own rebound and scores. Trey Lewis with his 4th point.
Yep.
And it's 17-6 Johnston.
Nobody boxed him out, and he hung right there by the rim. An easy putback for the 2 for Johnston.
Kramer with 11 points. Trey Lewis with 4, and 2 points for their center, Jacob Simpson. That is Johnston scoring. Dowling has Pettis with 4 points and 2 points for Drew Morrow. Final 5 seconds of the first quarter on the baseline. Fall-away jumper up and off the back iron. No good. Tipped by Charlie Stewart. No good at the horn as Morrow misses. And we've come to the end of the first quarter with the score. Johnston 17, Dowling Catholic 6. And alongside Steve DeVinny, I'm Mark Amadale here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
What is the best gift ever? Giving a Catholic education is at the top of my list. Your contribution to CTO helps families send their children to our Catholic schools who otherwise could not afford it. In giving to CTO, you receive the best tax credits ever. Pledge or donate online at ctoiowa.org. The bottom line, it's for the kids and their future.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Skeffington's Formalware, in business since 1951, with locations in Des Moines, West Des Moines, Coralville, and Ankeny. Skeffington's Formalware, fitting you for life celebrations. Online at skeffingtons.com.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Golden Rule Heating and Cooling. Since 1999, Golden Rule Heating and Cooling has been supporting customers with their rules to live by: respect, understanding, loyalty, expertise, and service. GoldenRulePHC.com.
And welcome back to the Indianola Gym alongside Steve DeVinny, Mark Amadale. End of the first quarter, and it's Johnston 17, Dowling Catholic 6. Steve, you got to look at the first quarter numbers right away before we start.
Yeah, red hot shooting for Johnston. 6 for 9, 1 for 3, 7 for 12 overall. Red hot. And the Maroons are 2 for 13, including 0 for 6 from beyond the arc. And that was one of the keys. We'll hope that the Maroons can pick it up a little bit in the second quarter here.
17-6, Johnston. Thank you, Steve, for the first quarter statistics. Now a backdoor cut and a layup. No good. Traylon Proctor misses the layup, and the rebound fought for and picked up by Drew Morrow. He and Carson Brown were battling, and now Drew down the lane around the defender, and it's blocked by Tornabane. Tornabane with the block. Rebound Kramer. He goes all the way down court. Layup good. Steven Kramer with 13 points. And he is having his way with Dowling here in this first quarter. Johnston was 2 for 2 at the free throw line. Dowling yet to shoot a free throw. And the Dragons have it. Dragons fall back on man-to-man defense. Dowling with the ball. I think the Maroons are back to their starting 5. Morrow with it, top of the key. Cut off. In the corner goes to Sheck. Davis for 3. Good. Corner 3 from the left side. Davis Sheck, and that's the first made 3 tonight, Steve, for Dowling. So they're now 1 for 7.
1 for 7, yep. Another interesting key here in the second quarter. Coach went back to Carson Brown with those 2 personal fouls, recognizing that if he's not in the ball game, the chances of us coming back might be slim and none.
Dowling's trailed by as many as 13 points here in this first half. As the ball is knocked out of bounds on Johnston's possession, they'll inbound the ball underneath their own basket. They get it into Sam Tornabane, the 6'5" junior, and now an illegal screen set by Johnston, and they're going to whistle the young man I was talking about, Sam Tornabane, with the foul. So that'll be the third team foul on Johnston, and 2 of them have been offensive fouls.
Yeah. Coppola there took one to the chops. The foul didn't get called until he was on his back.
And Steve, they're not looking at the monitor because we don't do that in high school.
Thank you very much.
Now Carson Brown in the lane. His shot blocked by Tornabane. He's got 2 blocks. Rebound Johnston and Ryan, but he loses it. Underneath is a steal by Pettis. The Sheck for 3, up and off the back iron, no good. Morrow with the rebound, and he'll bring it out as he was defended by Kramer. 19-9, Johnston by 10. As we're underway here in the second quarter. Lob pass underneath to Jalen Pettis. A reverse layup up and good, and there's those soft hands of Jalen Pettis. He went up, grabbed the basketball in between 2 defenders, and then laid it up and in.
Yeah, nice assist also there by Sheck. And Maroons have shown a little bit more intensity. They're playing well here in the second quarter.
Johnston by 8, and now the pass deflected by Carson Brown out of bounds. Off of Johnston is Proctor. Goes off of him and out of bounds to Dowling as Drew Marr will check out and Charlie Stewart will check in. Dragons also with their substitution. Nathan Ruish will check back into the lineup. So Dowling going with Charlie Stewart, Joey Coppola, Carson Brown, and Davis Sheck with Jalen Pettis in the post.
6-player rotation so far for the Maroons tonight.
Now Pettis underneath, his shot blocked by Tornabane. He's got 3 blocks in the first half. As Pettis had his shot blocked. Dowling's leading scorer with 6 points. Underneath Kramer, his shot up. That'll be the 3rd foul on Carson Brown. And now Carson's going to get teed up because he thought
you can't
Kramer threw an elbow. That'll be foul number 3 and 4.
Yeah, I think that Kramer has led with his elbow on 3 different occasions tonight, Mark. I'm not saying it was flagrant. He just tried to create some space, and the referees haven't called that at all. So
Kramer to the free throw line. We're going to shoot the technicals first. Kramer with 13 points tonight. First free throw up and good. Tonight's game on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network brought to you in part by our good friends at Ashworth Vision Clinic, construction professionals, and dental associates. Second free throw coming up. And no good. A rare miss. And now will be side out to Johnston underneath their own basket. It should be.
Technical foul plus a 2-shot penalty. I mean, the technical foul, but Kramer was fouled in the act of shooting, so he'll get all 4 free throws, and then they'll retain possession, Mark.
20-11 now is our score. 5:24 remaining, and the next free throw is good. That's 2 out of 3 by Kramer. Now they'll bring everybody to the line. They called it on Marr?
No, I think it was on Carson.
Okay.
Yeah,
and
Carson was guarding.
The 4th free throw is good by Kramer, so he goes 3 for 4.
I've never seen that.
This is the 5th free throw. It was not a 3-point shot.
Yeah, I don't understand that call.
Well, the officials are now getting with the official scorer, Dick Jess.
Let's hope they don't put the ball in play while the third official's talking to the scorer's table.
They won't do that. 23-11 is our score. Johnston with the lead. The Dragons go 4 or 5 at the free throw line during that segment.
Yeah, Mark, I've never seen that. Maybe it's legitimate, but I've never seen it.
Still trying to figure that out. There was 5 free throws being shot. It wasn't a 3-point shot.
It wasn't.
He was fouled on his way to the basket. And the foul was on Carson Brown, plus he committed the technical foul. And that was team foul number 5 on Dowling.
Yeah, Maroons were able to claw it back into 8-point deficit, and then with that whole chain of events here, now it's a 12-point deficit.
Whatever they told Coach Steelking of Dowling, he agreed, but never seen that. You've been on the bench. You know what's going on. Now here's Kramer with it down the lane and down the baseline and slants it through as he got around Charlie Stewart. Now a timeout called by Dowling. 19 points in the first half for Kramer, and this will be a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here with 4:51 remaining. Here in the second quarter, it's Dowling trailing 25-11 to Johnston. This is the Dragons' largest lead of 14. The Maroons have just got to find a way to execute their offense, stay out of foul trouble. Now Carson Brown with 4 fouls, and that'll put him on the bench the rest of this half, obviously.
Yep. Yeah, Maroons just went with Colin Clark. That'll be the 7th Maroon who has seen action so far tonight. The rotations in the bench participation is not what it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, but Maroons have dug themselves a hole here early, and nothing really that the Maroons have done. Johnston has just played really, really well so far.
25-11. Johnson with the lead over Dowling. Maroons will inbound the ball. We're under 5 minutes to play in the first half. Mark Amadale, Steve DeVinny from the Indianola Gym. That's where tonight's Substate final is at. Johnson now in a little zone. Corner 3 by Sheck, up and good from the left corner. That's 2 for Davis here in the second quarter. That's 25-14 Dragons.
Yeah. I'm not sure why Johnston would do that. Maybe just to give him a different look, but the man-to-man was working quite well before that.
Kramer for 3 and 2 strong, and whistle to fouls. Tornabene went right over the back of Jalen Pettis, and that'll be Tornabene's second foul, and that'll getting up off the bench, Jacob Simpson, the starter. As those two entertains their post, Dowling does too with Jalen Pettis and Mata Brewer. We have not seen Mata in tonight. 25-14 Johnston. Johnston a little zone or man. It looks like it's
I think they went back to man now.
Yeah.
I think.
Kramer turned around and asked the bench, said, hey, what are we in? He stayed at the top of the key, and now he's guarding Davis Sheck. Here's Pettis with it. These are for Capola on a ball screen. Joey in the corner. Now gets it back out to Marr. Drew with the basketball in the lane. And his little underhand scoop shot, no good. Pettis had the rebound, tipped away, and he gets it back. Now he's triple teamed. Finds Morrow underneath, and a whistle and a foul called on Johnston. And will be out of bounds to Dowling. Dragons 15 foul with 3:45 remaining in the half. That foul will be on Mason Ryan, his first. Capola will inbound the ball. Gets to Colin Clark, who's in there for the Maroons. Dowling went too deep in their bench, and now a long three by Morrow is no good. Charlie Stewart and Colin Clark have been the two reserves that have played for Dowling, and now Johnston with the ball. Lewis with it, has the ball tipped away. Good defense that time by Scheck. Dowling in transition. Davis with it. Dribbles around, little pull-up jumper, good from the right baseline. Davis Scheck with his 8th point.
Yeah, two threes for Davis, and that little 10-foot jumper on the right side of the lane, and the Maroons clawed back so far within 9.
25-16, Johnston over Dowling. 3 minutes to play here in the second quarter. Johnston underneath, a nice pass by Kramer, but a little pass in the lane to Jacob Simpson. He traveled with the basketball. You were talking about pivot feet earlier.
Hey, listen, as well as Johnston has played to this point, and the Maroons haven't played quite as well, Maroons are hanging around. They're keeping it within striking distance.
There's Morrow with it in the corner, nearly lost it. Dribbles in the baseline, kicks it out to Clark. Now over to Scheck for 3. It's no good and out of bounds, and it went off of Dowling as Pettis was battling Jacob Simpson. And they'll give it to Johnston with 2:45 remaining in the half. Johnston by 9 and the basketball. Dribbling across the timeline, Trey Lewis. Hands it off to Ruish, now to Kramer. Over to Lewis again, now to Simpson at the high post. Now they hand off to Kramer with trying to set up a ball screen. Now Kramer picks up his dribble and leaves it for Ruish. They play catch in the perimeter. Defense by the Maroons. See if Johnson sets something up involving Kramer. He's been their go-to guy throughout the night. Now Lewis in the lane. His shot up, blocked by Jalen Pettis. Rebound Dowling. Maroons running. Here's Capola. Lead pass to Scheck. And Scheck tried to save it from going out of bounds and tipped it right into the hands of Johnson. Dragging us down court, and Kramer with the foul. And Jalen will pick up the foul. Kramer had the basketball. Dowling fans wanted to travel. Instead, they got the reach-in foul by Pettis, and Matabrua will check in for Dowling here.
Yeah, the official that happened right in front of didn't make a call. The out official, who couldn't really see through the play, called it. And that's what the people are upset with right now.
All right, first free throw by Kramer is good. He has 20 points here in the first half. Wow. Matabrua in for Dowling. He replaces Jalen Pettis. The Maroons now have went 3 deep into their bench. Second free throw by Kramer, good. He is 8 for 9 at the free throw line with 21 points here in the first half. It's 27-16. Johnston over Dowling. Minute 45 remaining in the half. Here's Brua at the free throw line. In the corner goes to Capola. Back to Scheck. Pull-up jumper to lane. Rolls through. Rolled around that rim and fell through. And Davis Scheck with his 10th point, leading Dowling at its 27-18 Dragons. Johnson in the front court. Dowling stays man-to-man. Here's Kramer, guarded by Clark. Pull-up jumper off the mark, no good. Matabrua with the rebound for Dowling. Here's Clark with it. Collin down the lane. Puts up a shot to left hand. The shot is good, and the basket will count. A foul on Johnson. Nice little up and under by Colin Clark, and I think you learned that from his sister, Caitlin, maybe. Huh?
Yeah. Crafty move as he was able to kind of get his body in between 2 defenders. Johnston was trying to pick up the charge, but to your point, crafty move with his weak hand.
And the free throw is good by Colin Clark. He has 3 points off the bench. Mom and Dad sitting to our right in front of us. As Simpson will take a break and sit out for Johnston. Back in is Sam Tornabane, who already has 3 blocks in the contest. And it's 27-21. Johnston's lead is now down to 6. They led it by as many as 14 in this first half. Now in the lane, here's Ryan. His shot up no good. Rebound Dowling and Drew Marr. Outlet pass goes to Coppola. He's cut off nicely by Lewis. Now Marr with it. Underneath the Brua. His shot up and rolls off the rim. No good. Ball slapped around into the hands of Mason Ryan. Beautiful pass by Drew Marr, but Mata couldn't finish. Final 40 seconds of the first half. 27-21. Johnston by 6. Team fouls, both with 16 fouls. Here's Lewis in the lane, and they're going to call a jump ball as Drew Marr reached in and tied up Trey Lewis. Possession arrow Dowling here, Steve.
Lately, Johnston, which has allowed the Maroons to get back in the game a little bit, they've tried to do a little bit too much one-on-one. Early on when they were moving the ball and passing, they had better results, but Maroons have stepped it up a little bit on defense and are finally getting some shots to fall, too.
All right, Dowling with the basketball. As Colin Clark inbounds the ball to Joey Coppola, Drew Marr, Jalen Pettis, and Davis Sheck, the 5 on the floor for Dowling. I think Davis Sheck and Drew Marr have went the distance here in the first half. They have not sat down. Here's Marr with it between the circles. 10 seconds remaining in the half. Johnson by 6. Drew with it. Step back 3. Up and off the back iron. No good. He had it lined up correctly. Rebound Johnson and Ruiz. Half-court shot at the horn is no good, and we go to halftime with Johnston leading Dowling 27-21 here at the Indianola Gym as the Maroons outscored Johnston 15-10 in that second quarter after trailing at one point by 14 points in the first half, Steve Devaney.
Yeah, I'm really, I'm not even sure I have words to I really thought this was going to get one-sided there in a hurry when Carson picked up the technical foul. They awarded Johnston 5 free throws, which I'm not sure I understand, but at that point, it was a 14-point deficit. And for the Maroons to hang around and have the patience and the courage, they got a few stops, and now all of a sudden here it is, 6-point deficit, which if you're the Maroons, you have to feel really, really good about being down 6 after being down 14 with, midway through the second quarter.
No question about that. Well, we'll take a break. Let's take a 2-minute break as Grady Grimm is our studio producer tonight. We appreciate Grady being on board alongside Steve Devaney. I'm Mark Hamadale. Again, halftime here at the Indianola Gym, the neutral site between the game between Dowling and Johnston. As this is the 4A Substate Final. The winner moves on to the Boys State Basketball Tournament next week, and we're at halftime. Johnston 27, Dowling 21. And we'll take a 2-minute break and return here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Did you know you have a choice in your child's education? Smaller class sizes, dedicated teachers, a sense of community, and a caring learning environment, whether it's in the classroom or at home. Diocese of Des Moines Catholic Schools deliver the best value in education, and we offer tuition assistance to help you afford it. Learn more about how the Catholic schools in the Des Moines Diocese might be the right choice for your child. Visit dmdiocese.org/schools.
Hi, this is Matt Wilcom, Executive Director for Iowa Catholic Radio. A sincere thank you to all those who responded during our Spring Carathon. Your generosity means thousands of souls will continue to receive the message of faith and hope found only in Jesus Christ and His Church. If you didn't get a chance to give, it's not too late to pledge your support, and matching dollars are still available. Call 515-223-1150 or donate online at iowacatholicradio.com. Thank you.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio comes from Mercy One, your expert circle of personalized care for all your health needs. With more care locations than anyone, your best life is their one purpose. Find your doctor at mercy1.org.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Skeffington's Formal Wear, in business since 1951, with locations in Des Moines, West Des Moines, Coralville, and Ankeny. Skeffington's Formal Wear, fitting you for life celebrations. Online at skeffingtons.com.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Dental Associates, addressing your smile needs and dreams. 515-225-6742. Des Moines-DentalAssociates.com. Thank you, Dental Associates, for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio. Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Construction Professionals. Construction Professionals does remodeling and new construction. Construction Professionals is a Catholic family business built on a strong foundation. CPCustomHomes.com. Thank you, construction professionals, for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio.
Listener-supported Iowa Catholic Radio. 1150 AM KWKY Des Moines. 94.5 FM K233BT Des Moines. 88.5 FM KIHS Adel. 90.9 FM KLOX Creston.
And we're back here at the Indianola Gym alongside Steve DeVinny. I'm Mark Amadale. We're at halftime of the Class 4A Boys Substate Final. It's Johnston 27, Dowling Catholic 21. The Dragons have won both meetings during the regular season as these two teams are in the CIML Central Conference. Dragons winning at Dowling 59-41 back on January 31st. And then later on in February, they met again at the Johnston Gym final regular season game, and it was Johnston 58-49 over Dowling. So the Maroons trail by 6 here at halftime. Let's take a look at the scoring in this first half. Dowling Catholic led by Davis Scheck with 10 points, a pair of three-pointers, a pair of two-pointers for his 10 points. 6 points for Jalen Pettis on 3 field goals. 3 points for Colin Clark off the bench for the Maroons. Drew Marr with 2 points. Joey Capola, one of the Dowling guards, did not score, and neither did Carson Brown, who now has 4 fouls. He picked up his 3rd foul and then a technical foul on top of it, so he'll be on the bench for the Maroons, more than likely to start the second half. Dowling went 1 for 1 at the free throw line. For the home team on the scoreboard, the Johnston Dragons, their leading scorer was Stephen Kramer, 21 first half points. He was followed by Trey Lewis with 4 points and Jacob Simpson with 2 points. The Dragons went 8 of 9 at the free throw line. And Steve DeVinny, you got to look at some shooting percentages, rebounds, and turnovers.
I think in the second half, the Maroons' strategy might be to put 3 players on Kramer. He's been a one-man wrecking crew so far, and he's been he has good composure. He's got great skill. He's got good footwork, and what a performance that was. Maroons in the first half were 8 for 28 from the field, and I was getting ready to do my calculation here. Hang on just a minute. That's 29%. That probably won't win a lot of championship games, but for them to shoot that and only be down 6 is a testament to some of the other things that the Maroons have been able to do. Johnston, on the other hand, was 7 out of 12 in the first quarter, cooled off some in the second quarter, which allowed the Maroons to get back in it. Only 3 for 11, so 10 for 21, just below 50% for the Johnston Dragons in the first half. Rebounding-wise, Johnston has 14, the Maroons have 9, and turnovers are tied at 5 apiece. The Maroons had 4 turnovers in the first quarter and then cleaned it up a little bit there in the second quarter, which allowed them to get back in the game a little bit too. So, as I said before we took the break for the first half here, for the Maroons to be down 6, they've got to be really, really encouraged because they didn't play very well early, and Johnston played so well. And, Johnston maybe took the Maroons a little bit for granted in the second quarter. They played less team basketball and a little bit more one-on-one, and were less effective with that. So let's see what the third quarter has in stake for us.
Dowling did trail in the first half by 14 points, and they did lead by 2 points at one point during the first quarter. As we mentioned, Johnston, they went on a 9-0 run. They were down 4-2 to Dowling. They went on a 9-0 run, and Maroons called timeout, kind of regrouped, and trailed at the end of the first quarter, 17-6. Johnston with an 11-point lead at the end of the first quarter. And Dowling come back in the second quarter, and then Carson Brown picked up his 3rd foul. Coach Stillkeem brought him in, picked up his 3rd foul, and then in frustration, he thought he got an elbow from Stephen Kramer and complained, and he got a technical foul, which resulted into 5 free throws, and we're still trying to figure that out. And, the coaches were fine with it. They knew. The fans, like us, we didn't know, and it's like, I'll have to ask Chad Schomeyer. He's one of the officials here tonight. I'll talk to him later. And, his daughter, an outstanding softball player from Urbandale, playing at Northwestern, Skylar Schomeyer. So I'll see Chad. And obviously we didn't know what the rule was. Somehow we got the technical foul and then a personal foul, which was a non-shooting foul and it was only Dowling's, I think, third or 14th foul, so we're still trying to figure all that out. But nonetheless, that was just an instance. The Maroons played well after that as they dug into that 14-point lead, Steve, and got it down to 6 here at halftime.
Yeah, the other thing that we haven't talked about yet is the fact that the referees let it go a little bit. Very physical first half. Neither team made it to the 1-and-1 bonus. Each team ended the half with 6 team fouls. You don't see that very often.
Right.
And officials swallowed their whistle a few times. Maybe some fouls could have been called both sides, but the only person in foul trouble for the Maroons, obviously, is Carson Brown. And does Pettis have 1 or 2?
Jalen has 1 foul.
Okay, that's good for the Maroons.
And Charlie Stewart has the other. The other 4 are on Carson Brown. Kind of like scoring for Johnston. All the scoring is with Stephen Kramer.
Yeah, he was phenomenal. And as I mentioned before the game, the one thing that maybe gives the Johnston Dragons a little bit of an edge tonight is the fact that they feel like this is unfinished business. A lot of teams, their goal is to get to the state tournament. They don't necessarily think that they might win it all, but that's not the goal for Johnston. They got second last year, and so they're on a mission to get the whole thing this year. And in addition to their experience, in addition to those 2, the Division I and the Division II player on that roster, and the Maroons don't have that on the basketball team, there's an advantage there. But like we talked about a couple different times, the fact that the Maroons have hung around with the guts and narrowed the deficit to 6 right before half is a real testament.
Last year, Johnston finished with a record of 12-5 in the COVID-shortened year, and they lost in the state championship game to Waukee, 61-50. And ironically, the Johnston girls defeated Dowling yesterday morning to advance to the semifinals on Thursday morning in the girls' state basketball tournament. Well, you mentioned the unfinished business.
Well, and last year, Johnston boys lost to Waukee, but so did the girls.
That's right.
Both teams were second place last year.
They're on a mission, Steve.
Yeah.
You hit it. All right, about ready to start the second half. We'll keep it here. As we mentioned, Johnston outscored Dowling 17-6 at the end of the first quarter. Dowling comes back in the second quarter and outscores Johnston 15-10. And halftime, it's Johnston 27, Dowling Catholic 21. Our thanks to our supporters here in Iowa Catholic Radio. They include Mercy One, Dental Associates, and Construction Professionals. And reminder, you can like Iowa Catholic Radio on Facebook and follow Iowa Catholic Radio on Twitter. And you can stay connected to Iowa Catholic Radio through the newsletter at iowacatholicradio.com. Alongside the Hall of Famer from Grandview University, that's my friend and partner, Stephen Devaney. I'm Mark Amadale. Brady Grimm is our studio producer. We're underway. Second half, Johnston with the first possession. They do a little dribble handoff to Lewis. His shot up, rolls off the rim, no good. Nice little play that time. A give and go by Kramer. Dowling with the rebound. Shekin in transition. His shot no good. And the rebound comes out to Johnston as Colin Clark gets the second half start for Dowling with Carson Brown with 4 fouls. Corner 3, no good by Marr, and the ball hits the guy wire out of bounds to Dowling here at Indianola High School.
Yeah, Johnston ran a little special to get Trey Lewis a dribble handoff from Kramer, and couldn't quite finish in traffic, and the Maroons came back, and they couldn't get it to fall either, but Maroons got possession again, down by 6.
Johnston, the home team, they're wearing their home white uniforms with purple trim and gold trim. Now backdoor cut by Marr. Reverse layup is short. Leaves it short. Rebound Johnston. Had a nice move that time and a nice look.
Very good baseline move.
And we've played nearly a minute, and our score remains 27-21. Johnston over Dowling here at Indianola High School. Thanks to Indianola folks. Lee Nelson, their AD, being great hosts. Underneath Kramer, his shot up and good right around Clark. Stephen Kramer, 23 points now in the contest.
That'll be difficult to guard. Once again, he sort of led with that left hand weak side elbow.
Marl's pass intercepted by Lewis, and Kramer's shot no good. The tip no good, and a whistle and a foul on Dowling as Tornabane gets the second half start and tips it in and scores.
Drew Morrow sort of shoved him in hopes that he wouldn't be able to get that second offensive board.
Charlie Stewart will enter the lineup for Drew Morrow. So this lineup for Dowling will have Pettis and Stewart in the post with Colin Clark, Joey Coppola, and Davis Sheck, and the free throw is no good by Johnston. Rebound Dowling. 10-point lead for the Dragons. Here's Sheck with it. Left wing, guarded by Kramer. Get it to Pettis in the baseline, guarded by Tornabane. Jalen power dribble to the lane. Leaves it for Lewis. His shot blocked by Tornabane. His fourth block tonight for the junior center. Now in the corner, Johnson wide open look. Three-pointer no good, but tipped in by Sam Tornabane. And that is his fourth point. The timeout Dowling, as the lead now is 13 for Johnston with 6 minutes to play. And this will be a full timeout. We'll take it with them. 6 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Johnston leading Dowling 33-21 in this boys 4A Substate final here at Indianola High School. Back in 1 minute on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Ashworth Vision Clinic. Complete eye exams, contact lenses, glasses, glaucoma testing, and pre- and post-operative care. 515-440-4610. AshworthVision.com.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Construction Professionals. Construction Professionals does remodeling and new construction. Construction Professionals is a Catholic family business built on a strong foundation. CPCustomHomes.com. Thank you, Construction Professionals, for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio. Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Dental Associates, addressing your smile needs and dreams. 515-225-6742. Des Moines-DentalAssociates.com. Thank you, Dental Associates, for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio. Support for Iowa Catholic Radio comes from Mercy One, your expert circle of personalized care for all your health needs. With more care locations than anyone, your best life is their one purpose. Find your doctor at mercyone.org.
And we're back here at Indianola High School out of the Dowling timeout as Johnson has went on a 6-0 run to start the third quarter. 33-21 Johnson. And now Pettis for three. It's no good. And the rebound out to Johnston. It's ice cold here to start the second half. Trailing by 12. Tornabane, who got the second half start in there. Jacob Simpson got the start at center. Now Tornabane in there. Now Kramer for his layup is good right around Colin Clark. And here comes Carson Brown off the bench with 4 fouls. Kramer with 25 points. Dowling with the ball. It's Sheck, Capola, Pettis, Clark, and Charlie Stewart. The 5 and the 4 for Dowling. Stewart with it in the corner for Capola for three. Good! Joey Capola with his first three of the night. And it cuts the Dragon lead to 11. 35-24 Johnsons. We're under 5 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Now whistling the foul on the Maroons, Steve.
Yeah, as you said, not the start that the Maroons wanted here in the third quarter with a couple turnovers, missed shots, and once again, more of the same from Johnston and Kramer.
Carson Brown will check in with 4 fouls. Picked up 3, and then he committed a technical foul to get his 4th. Charlie Stewart will sit down. And the Dragons now see if they run a play at Carson Brown. Here's Trey Lewis with it to Kramer, who's guarded by Clark. In the lane, fall-away jumper, no good. Rebound, Jalen Pettis. Now he has it stolen away by Tornabane. In the lane, and they're going to call him for the travel as Tornabane didn't have a pivot foot as he made the steal on the outlet pass by Pettis. But when he went to shoot, he traveled.
And thank goodness he did, Mark.
35-24, Johnson
Maroons
by
could
11.
use a few more of those.
Dowling with the ball. Here's Pettis, top of the key to Colin Clark. Clark gets to Davis Sheck. Johnson making Dowling's offense start beyond the three-point arc. Here's Sheck now on double team. Leaves it for Capola for 3. Up and no good. And saved from going out of bounds by Jalen Pettis. And here's Johnson with the ball as he saved it right into a Johnston player, and that is Trey Lewis. Lewis coming off a ball screen by Tornabane. Down the lane he goes. His shot with the right hand, no good. Rebound Dowling and Colin Clark. Outlet pass to Capola. Maroons running. Capola with it. Looks inside, can't find anybody. Now the off pass stolen away by Lewis, and he'll lay it in. Trey Lewis stealing basket. That's his 6 point, and it's 37-24 Johnston as they lead by 13 with 3:45 remaining, third quarter. Clark underneath to Pettis, spins in the lane, and he's fouled from behind by Mason Ryan, and 2 free throws coming for Jalen Pettis. on Mason Ryan, his second foul. Tonight's game on Iowa Catholic Radio brought to you in part by Skeffington's Formal Wear, the Catholic Tuition Organization, and Ashworth Vision Clinic. Pettis' first free throw, no good. Jalen tonight with 6 points, all in the first half. Dowling now 1 for 2 at the line as a team. Second free throw is good. It's 37-25. Johnston by 12 here, Steve.
Could use a stop.
They put Colin Clark on Kramer, and now a timeout by Johnston. This will be a full timeout. We'll take it with them. 3 minutes, 31 seconds remaining here in the third quarter from Indianola High School. Johnston 37, Dowling 25, and you're listening to the Class 4A Boys Substate Final from the Indianola Gym on Iowa Catholic Radio.
What is the best gift ever? Giving a Catholic education is at the top of my list. Your contribution to CTO helps families send their children to our Catholic schools who otherwise could not afford it. In giving to CTO, you receive the best tax credits ever. Pledge or donate online at ctoiowa.org. The bottom line, it's for the kids and their future.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Skeffington's Formal Wear, in business since 1951, with locations in Des Moines, West Des Moines, Coralville, and Ankeny. Skeffington's Formal Wear, fitting you for life celebrations. Online at skeffingtons.com.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Golden Rule Heating and Cooling. Since 1999, Golden Rule Heating and Cooling has been supporting customers with their rules to live by: respect, understanding, loyalty, expertise, and service. GoldenRulePHC.com.
And we're back here at the Indianola Gym. Johnston 37, Dowling 25 in this boys Class 4A Substate Final. The winner moves on to next Wednesday when the Class 4A Boys State Basketball Tournament begins. Wednesday morning at 10:30, first game on Wednesday, March 9th. Now Johnston with the ball. Kramer with it, goes right around Clark. Has the ball poked away by Jalen Pettis at the last moment, Steve.
Good help defense there by Jalen. Coach Frick thought maybe it was a foul, but they will retain possession.
He's looking for the reach-in foul. Johnston will inbound the ball out of bounds. Mason Ryan will throw it in. Carson Brown defending. They lob it into Kramer, top of the key, guarded by Colin Clark. He'll force him left. Kramer a crossover dribble to Ryan. Pull-up jumper from 10 feet up. Good. Mason Ryan with his first 2 points tonight. He's been a part-time starter and a full-time sub at times, but it's his first basket, and the lead is now 14 for Johnston, 39-25. Equals their largest lead of the night. And now the Maroons with the missed shot. Rebound comes out to Trey Lewis. Dragons have equaled their largest lead of the evening with 2.5 minutes remaining, third quarter. Now here is Kramer, a shot no good, and the ball slapped out of bounds. Off of Johnston.
Yeah, they're going to have a discussion to see whose ball that is.
It should remain with Dowling. Well, he's got a foul on Kramer is what he's got. That's what So Stephen Kramer has picked up his second foul. And Drew Marr now coming in for Carson Brown. So it'll be Colin Clark, who's played a lot of minutes tonight due to Carson Brown's 4 fouls.
Colin, for what it's worth, has done a pretty good job on Kramer. Kramer did most of his scoring before Colin was in the ballgame.
You can see the Maroons had to pick their poison. And a long 3, no good by Sheck. And the rebound out to Johnston and Mason Ryan. The Maroons had to pick their poison. Do you defend Lewis or Kramer? You can't defend them both.
Yep.
They elected to defend Lewis. He has 6 points tonight. Kramer with 25. And Johnston with the basketball, leading by 14. 2 minutes left here in the third quarter. In the lane is Lewis. Is shot up and short. Ball slapped around, and Tornabane comes up with it on the baseline to Kramer, and he'll slam dunks it through. Kramer with 27 points. Dowling the other way, and a shot no good by Morrow. Rebound slapped around, and Johnston comes away with it with Nathan Ruish. Now whistling a foul on Dowling. That'll be on Coppola. And on Joey, that'll be his second foul. Team foul number 3 on Dowling with 1:40 remaining here in the third quarter. 41-25 Johnston. Dragons are going for the sweep here in the regular and postseason over Dowling. trying to punch their ticket to the boys state basketball tournament where they were state runner-up last year to the Waukee Warriors, who won it all. Now underneath, a nice little give and go. Lewis pass inside to Mason Ryan. Layup is good. Ryan now with 4 points. Lewis with another assist. And it's 43-25. Johnston by 18. Their largest lead of the night over Dowling. Capola with it. Over to Morrow. Drew with it on the right wing. He and Pettis were playing a little two-man game. Now they swing it to the left side. Check inside and a whistle and a foul on Tornabane. And Sam Tornabane picks up his third foul.
Foul number 40. Tornabane, that's his third. Check you for the Dragons, number 42. Simpson,
and that'll get Jacob Simpson back in the lineup. Also in the lineup for Johnston will be Taylon Proctor, the 5'11 sophomore. He's inbound the ball. Back goes inside to Morrow, and a ball stripped away by Trey Lewis. Nice pass by the Maroons, but Morrow had the ball stripped away. I think he tried to shoot it, and the Dragons picked him clean. And now Johnston maybe attempt to hold for the last shot. With 40 seconds remaining, 43-25 Dragons. They're going to pull the ball out near half court. Here's Lewis with it. Lewis and Kramer doing the ball handling. Now a whistle and a blocking foul on Colin Clark. That'll be his first foul.
Foul number 41, Clark, that's his first.
That'll be the 14th foul on Dowling with 30 seconds remaining. Dragons lob it in to Lewis. It's Lewis, Kramer, Proctor, along with Ruish and Simpson, the 5 on the floor for the Johnston Dragons, who have the ball, trying to play for the final shot. Here's Kramer with it, guarded by Clark. Dribble handoff to Lewis. Lewis or Kramer? What do you think here, Steve? They're going to get the final shot. Right now it's Lewis. Underneath, he finds the center, Simpson, and his shot is blocked, but a foul on Dowling, and free throws coming for Johnston with just under 4 seconds remaining.
Yeah, a little dribble handoff. Trey Lewis went down the lane, and help defense came, and he dished it to the post player. Good, almost a good block shot there by Morrow and Jalen Pettis, but they one of them for the foul.
And Morrow got the foul. That's his second. Team foul number 5 on Dowling. Free throws coming for Jacob Simpson. First one up and good. He now has 3 points tonight. Jacob, a 6'5 sophomore. He starts, but Tornabane's been playing the bulk of the minutes tonight at center for Johnston.
Yeah, we don't keep track of block shots, but you said earlier 4. It's got to be 5 or 6 by now. He's really been a effective rim protector there for Johnston.
And that affects you so much defensively because here's a shot at the horn. They're going to wave it off, no good by Capola. And we come to the end of the third quarter with the score. Johnston with its largest lead. It's Johnston 45, Dowling 25, alongside Steve DeVinny. I'm Mark Amadale. We'll be back with the fourth quarter in this boys Substate final from Indianola High School here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Did you know you have a choice in your child's education? Smaller class sizes, dedicated teachers, a sense of community, and a caring learning environment. Whether it's in the classroom or at home, Diocese of Des Moines Catholic Schools deliver the best value in education, and we offer tuition assistance to help you afford it. Learn more about how the Catholic schools in the Des Moines Diocese might be the right choice for your child. Visit dmdiocese.org/schools.
Amazon Smile is a simple way to support Iowa Catholic Radio. When you are shopping on Amazon, consider shopping through Amazon Smile instead. You get all the same great deals, and your order will also help support Iowa Catholic Radio. All you need to do is choose Iowa Catholic Radio as your nonprofit to support when you first log in, and Amazon will do the rest. Every Amazon Smile order you make, Amazon will donate to Iowa Catholic Radio. Support Iowa Catholic Radio while you shop at smile.amazon.com. And thank you for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio.
Listener-supported Iowa Catholic Radio, 1150 AM KWKY Des Moines, 94.5 FM K233BT Des Moines, 88.5 FM KIHS Adel, 90.9 FM KLOX Creston.
Hey, we're back here at the at the Indianola gym, Mark Amadale, Steve DeVinny, as we total up our numbers. And Dowling with the basket to start the third quarter there, Steve.
Nice ball movement, finished on the baseline there by Pettis.
So Jalen with his 8th point. Dowling outscored in the third quarter 18-4 by Johnston. Dragons with their largest lead of 20. Now cut to 18 with Pettis' basket. Johnston 10 of 12 at the free throw line through 3 quarters. Dowling 2 of 3 at the line. And Steve will give you a moment here to get the totals, turnovers, rebounds, and shooting percentages through 3 quarters. And now the ball underneath and out of bounds to Johnston. Go ahead, Steve.
Shooting percentages, the Maroons continued to struggle in the third quarter. 1 for 9 from the field. No 2-point field goals. 1 for 5 beyond the arc. Johnston went back to their first quarter ways and put on a clinic. 8 for 12 from 2s, 0 for 3 from 3s, 8 for 15 on the quarter. And that's the difference in how they expanded that lead.
Dragons with the basketball, leading 45-27 over Dowling Catholic. Already played a minute here in the fourth quarter. Kramer underneath. He has the ball stolen away. And they're going to call a jump ball on Carson Brown. He took it away from Proctor, who was on the baseline. Tay Proctor. It'll be, should be Dowling basketball.
Yeah. Dowling had it to start the second half.
That's right. They had the first possession.
I'm sorry, the fourth quarter.
Yep,
and so
right.
They'll get it back to Johnston.
So Johnston will inbound the ball. Dragons have Kramer, Ruish, Lewis, Proctor, and Jacob Simpson, the 5 and the 4 for the Dragons. Here's Ruish in the corner. 3-pointer up, no good. And 3 free throws coming as a foul's on Dowling. It'll be on Davis Scheck. And that'll be his first foul. 16 foul on Dowling. 3 on Johnston. And we're going to see Sam Tornabane check back in, the 6'5 junior for the Dragons. First free throw good by Ruish. They'll get 2 more. Tonight's game on Iowa Catholic Radio brought to you in part by Ashworth Vision Clinic, Construct Professionals, and Dental Associates. Second free throw is good. They'll get 1 more.
Second for the Dragons, number 40, Tornabane.
So it'll be Ruish, Tornabane, and Kramer, along with Tay Proctor and Trey Lewis, the 5 on the floor for the Dragons. Third free throw is good by Ruish. 61% free throw shooter on the year, makes all 3, and that's his first 3 points tonight. 48-27, Johnston by 21. Long 3 by Carson Brown, no good. And rebound, Johnston. Here's Lewis with it, works the left wing, guarded by Scheck, or rather guarded by Coppola. Down the lane he goes, kicks in the corner. Kramer thinks about the 3, won't shoot it. Now dribbles to the middle of the lane, leaves it for Lewis, who's guarded by Coppola. And the Dragons will reset as we approach the 6-minute mark here in the fourth quarter. The winner moves on to the Boys State Basketball Tournament. Class 4A begins next Wednesday morning at 10:30. There's Kramer with it. Johnston give and go underneath, and a layup good. Kramer to develop that, and he left it for Taylor Proctor.
Once again, everybody's trying to commit help to the guy that's got 27 or 8 points or whatever he has, and that leaves other guys on his team open.
Dowling with the ball. Here's Davis Scheck over to Coppola for 3. It's no good. Rebound safe from going out of bounds by Carson Brown, and the ball tipped out of bounds by Colin Clark. It'll be Johnston basketball with 5.5 minutes remaining. Johnston led 27-21 at halftime as Dowling outscored the Dragons 15-10 in the second quarter, but the third quarter, Johnston 18-4 over Dowling in that third quarter. The Maroons have not recovered. Here's Kramer with it. Dribbles in the lane, kicks it back out to Lewis. In the lane, his shot up, and no good, too strong. Rebound, Jalen Pettis.
Good defense, good board there.
Check for 3. It's off the back iron, no good. Clark with the rebound. Over to Coppola. Now to Carson Brown. Step back 3 up, and in and out, no good. Rebound, Johnston and Ruish. Cold shooting now for the Maroons. They've only scored 2 points here in this third quarter, and that was to start the fourth quarter off by Pettis. And now Kramer in the lane, and his shot is up and good. Stephen Kramer
6'5" versus Colin Clark, 6'1".
29 points for Kramer. Now, Dowling with the ball underneath, and the shot is knocked out of bounds off the rebound. And Dowling will inbound the ball. Coppola will throw it in. Underneath the Carson Brown. In the corner, it's Clark for three. Up, missed everything. No good. Kramer, the weak side rebound. And with 4.5 minutes to play, Johnston 52, Dowling Catholic 27. Lewis underneath. Gets it to Kramer. Maroons are gradually running out of time here. Clock is not on their side. Here's Tornabane for three. Top of the key, it's no good. And a rebound, Dowling and Coppola. Now a long three by Scheck is no good. And the rebound, Kramer. Dowling trailing by 25. This is their largest deficit of the contest. 3:45 remaining. Coach Brian Frick, his third year at Johnston, looking at his bench and may want to sub here. Here's a steal by Carson Brown. Gets all the way down court, and four of the Johnston players made the trip. But he gets it to Coppola. His layup is no good, and the rebound comes out to Johnston. 3:20 remaining. Charlie Stewart gets up off the Dowling bench along with Mata Brua and Jack Odie. They'll be the next crew in, and now a fadeaway jumper in the lane, no good by Kramer. Rebound, Dowling and Pettis.
Good defense there by Clark again.
And here's Carson Brown. And Kramer stepped right in front of Carson Brown. And Dowling upset there was no foul called. And now players coming out for Dowling. Carson Brown along with Joey Coppola. 3:07 remaining, and Johnston leading 52-27.
I'm not sure how Carson Brown fell down on his own.
Now there was a collision.
Coach Theo King got teed up there.
A technical foul called on Dowling head coach Clay Fieldking. That's the second technical against the Maroons. One was on Carson Brown back in the second quarter. And the players are all gathered at half court talking amongst each other. And Lewis will shoot the two-shot technical. Trey, who has 6 points tonight. Dowling's done a good job on him. He missed the first free throw. He had to give up something, and that something was Stephen Kramer. 29 of Johnston's 53 points by Kramer. He had 21 at halftime.
One of those nights, Mark, right?
Yeah, 53-27. Johnston with the lead. And the Maroons lose possession because they just called the ball out of bounds off of Johnston. And now the Dragons get the ball back on the technical foul. In high school, you don't retain possession, you lose it to the opponent. Here's Kramer underneath. Bounces off his foot out of bounds. Good defense that time by Colin Clark.
You would think, Mark, that the Dragons might empty their bench as well under 3 minutes to go, but no sign of that so far.
Now here's Odie for three in the corner. It's no good. Rebound Kramer. 53-27 Johnston. We stayed on that score. The Maroons only 2 points here in the fourth quarter. 6 points total here in the second half. Now a long three by Kramer. No good. Rebound Mata Brua. With 2:20 remaining. Down court to Stewart. Charlie in the lane. Gets in the corner to Clark. They reverse it to Scheck. Top of the key for three. It's no good. Ball slapped out of bounds. Out to Scheck, rather. Top of the key by Clark. There's Odie on the baseline. Jack underneath. Pass goes to Charlie Stewart. Reverse layup good. Charlie Stewart with his first 2 points. 53-29. Dowling with 8 points here in the second half. We're under 2 minutes to play. And now here is a basket by Trey Lewis. Lewis now with 9 points. 55-29 Johnston. Stewart for three in the corner. No good. Mata Brua, offensive rebound and putback is good. Mata with his first 2 points. Minute and a half to play, and Johnston leading 55-31 here at the Indianola High School gym. Dragons just a minute and a half away from punching their ticket to the Boys State basketball tournament. which begins next Wednesday for Class 4A at 10:30. Johnston now in the lane. Pull-up jumper, no good by Lewis. Rebound Dowling and Matabrua. Minute to play. Here's Sheck in the front court. And in the corner to Clark. His three-pointer, no good. And that'll do it. 55-31, final 50 seconds. The Maroons are not going to contest. Johnston gets it across the timeline. And the Dragons will call a timeout.
Timeout, Dragons.
It'll be a 30-second timeout just for substitutions, and we'll keep it here alongside Steve DeVinny, Mark Amadale. Johnston 55, Dowling 31. The Maroons season is going to come to an end. Their 3-game winning streak, which they started at the end of the postseason, coming to an end. Very tough Johnston team, as you know, Steve. And they gave the Maroons all they could handle, and the Dragons win all 3 games during this season. 2 regular season games within the conference, and now the postseason Substate final.
Yeah, disappointing way to end the season on paper. Johnston at 18-3 was going to be the favorite tonight. Maroons hung in there first 2 quarters, but boy, the third and the fourth quarter, Johnston, with the experience and the skill level and the good shooters, they pulled away.
Dragons with the basketball. Dylan Grandin, the 6'1 junior, in the contest now, as the Dragons have emptied their bench. Tay Proctor, Logan Carey, Dylan Grandin, Jaden Hansen, and Jalen Richardson, all 5 in the lineup for Johnston. This is Grandin with it. Now hits in the corner for 3. It's no good by Jaden Henderson. And rebound Johnson, and the put back up and no good by Hansen. Rebound Dowling. Maroons running. Here's Stewart with it. And leaves it for Odie, and he threw it too strong with 7 seconds remaining. Congratulations to head coach Brian Frick. He's going to get a chance to go back to the Boys State basketball tournament, Steve. Last year losing in the finals to Waukee, as Johnston just dribbles it out. And that'll do it. Dragons hold Dowling to a grand total of 10 second-half points, as Johnston outscores Dowling 28-10 in the second half to win it 55-31 here at Indianola High School. And the Maroons will conclude their season with a record of 9 wins and 15 losses. Johnston will move on to the Boys State basketball tournament next week with a record of 19-3 and a number 7 ranking in Class 4A, as the teams exchange handshakes in the handshake line. And Brian Frick and his coaching staff, Andy Woodley, Josh Kennedy, and Dowling with their coaching staff play Phil King, Jimmy Nahas, Nick Wagner, and Kevin O'Hare, as the Maroons season has come to an end. And so has our broadcast tonight, Steve DeVinny. And it's kind of emotional, seniors especially, for Dowling. The Maroons dressed 6 seniors. Johnston had 9 seniors in their program, but those 6 seniors for Dowling have played or attended their last game in a Dowling uniform.
Yeah, always tough to say goodbye to the seniors, and Maroons had some adversity this year with illness and injuries, and fought to the bitter end. I mean, you never doubted ever how hard the Maroons would play, and for that you got to give these guys a lot of credit. But while you're doing the stats, I'll name the 6 seniors: Carson Brown and Quincy Ferguson, Ben and Charlie Stewart, Matabrua and Jalen Pettis. And tough one tonight, Mark. I mean, the better team won. You have to give Johnston credit, but Maroons just couldn't shoot it. You know, we talked about the fact that they'd have to shoot it well to have a chance, and they just didn't get that done tonight.
No, they didn't, Steve. Dragons had too much. Steven Kramer came in averaging 15.5 points. He was just the second leading scorer on his team rather, averaging 15.5. Trey Lewis averaging 22.5. He was in the top 5 categories in Class 4A in three-pointers made, points, assists, three-point attempts, free throw percentage, and defensive rebounds. That's 6 categories. Dowling neutralized him pretty well, holding Lewis to 9 points. He's headed to Drury University in Springfield, Missouri, a D2 school. And, you know, it was tough going. What's this guy got to say? Mr. Clark. Is he still doing community service for Caitlin?
I don't know. But it just didn't, it's a bitter pill to swallow, right? I mean, we've all been in these situations. And, when you win, it feels like nothing better. And when you lose, boy, does it hurt. And Johnston's a very fine team. Give those guys credit. But to get beat by 25 and only, what'd you say, 10 points in the second half for the Maroons?
That's all Dowling had in the second half.
And that's going to be, when that happens, that's you're going to be on the wrong end of things 9 times out of 10. So.
Certainly are. Maroons only went to the free throw line tonight 3 times, made 2. Johnston was 14 to 17 at the free throw line. And again, the Dragons win at 55-31 over Dowling Catholic to advance to the Boys State basketball tournament next week. Dowling closes out their season with a record of 9-15. And alongside Steve DeVinny, I'm Mark Amadale. We want to thank Brady Grimm for doing everything he does back at the studio, our Iowa Catholic Radio studio producer for tonight, Brady Grimm. He and Jimmy Olson, Jeff Piggott, Jennifer Phelps, appreciate all they do throughout the year and keeping us on board. This will be our final broadcast. We'll be back with the postgame show, and we'll total up some of the scoring and statistics tonight. And congratulations to the Johnston Dragons, the winners, as they have their picture taken at midcourt here at Indianola High School. Great host is Indianola and Lee Nelson. And again, the final, Johnston 55, Dowling Catholic 31. We'll take a break and come back with our postgame show here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Ashworth Vision Clinic. Complete eye exams, contact lenses, glasses, glaucoma testing, and pre- and post-operative care. 515-440-4610. AshworthVision.com.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Construction Professionals. Construction Professionals does remodeling and new construction. Construction Professionals is a Catholic family business built on a strong foundation. CPCustomHomes.com. Thank you, Construction Professionals, for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio. Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Dental Associates, addressing your smile needs and dreams. 515-225-6742. Des Moines-DentalAssociates.com. Thank you, Dental Associates, for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio. Support for Iowa Catholic Radio comes from Mercy One, your expert circle of personalized care for all your health needs. With more care locations than anyone, your best life is their one purpose. Find your doctor at mercyone.org.
And we're back here at the Indianola High School Gymnasium, the neutral site of tonight's game, 4A Substate final. And Johnston and Dowling. Johnston punches their ticket to the Boys State basketball tournament next week in Des Moines at Wells Fargo Arena with a 55-31 victory over Dowling Catholic. The Maroons conclude their season. Their record 9-15 on the year. Johnston improves to 19-3 as they head to state. And they'll be anticipating the seedings that come out. And that'll be done tonight by the Boys Association. So tonight or tomorrow, they'll know when they play. Class 4A begins on next Wednesday, March 9th at 10:30. They play at 10:30, 12:15, 2 and 3:45. And the Johnston team, we wait to find out what time they play and their opponent next Wednesday. Congratulations to Coach Frick and the Johnston Dragons. Steve DeVinny, tough night for the Maroons. They couldn't get anything going. They trailed by 6 at halftime, but Johnston outscored Dowling 28-10 in the second half to win at 55-31. That lid was on that basket. You got to credit Johnston and their defense.
Yep. No, it was. I just had a little flashback to 1 year ago when OC's final team was out at Dallas Center Grimes and pulled a mild upset that night over the Valley Tigers to get back to the well.
Right.
And then fast forward just 12 quick months, and this time Johnston's holding the banner. They're celebrating, and the Maroons are in the locker room getting ready to head back to school one final time. And so it's always tough. But once again, one of the Achilles heels for the Maroons this season was perimeter shooting. We said before the game tonight that if they were going to get over the hump against a really, really good Johnston team, that they'd have to shoot better. And unfortunately, they didn't get it done. And so we'll look forward to future seasons, but tough one.
All right, well, I'll go through the scoring here, Steve. I'll start with the visitors. That was Dowling Catholic tonight here at the Indianola Gym. as the Maroons fall 55-31 to Johnston, as Steve will bring us our shooting percentages, rebounds, and turnovers. We'll start with Dowling. The Maroons were led in double figures by Davis Sheck with 10 points, and those were all in the first half. He was held scoreless in the second half. 9 points for Jalen Pettis. He had 6 of his 9 points in the first half. And rounding out scoring for Dowling, 3 points for Colin Clark off the bench, 3 points for Joey Coppola. Charlie Stewart and Drew Morrow with 2 points each, and Mata Brua with 2 points. Carson Brown did not score. He had 4 fouls at halftime as he picked up his 3rd foul in the second quarter, and then a technical foul, which happened midway through the second quarter. Sat him on the bench for most of the first half and part of the second half. He finished with no points. Dowling was 2 of 3 at the free throw line. For the Johnston Dragons, they were paced by Stephen Kramer, the 6'5 senior, with 29 points. He was followed by Trey Lewis with 9 points. And rounding out scoring for Johnston, Jacob Simpson with 4 points. And Sam Tornabane, also another center with Simpson, 4 points. Mason Ryan with 4 points, 2 points for Tay Proctor. And Nate Ruish off the bench, or one of the starters, with 3 points. He went 3 for 3 at the free throw line. Johnston, 14 of 17 at the free throw line as they win it 55-31. Johnston led 17-6 at the end of the first quarter. Dowling outscored Johnston in the second quarter 15-10. Halftime, it was 27-21. Johnston leading Dowling. Third quarter, the Dragons, 18-4, they outscored Dowling, as the score was 45-25 Johnston going into the fourth quarter. And in the fourth quarter, Johnston outscoring Dowling 10-6 to win it 55-31. Dragons' largest lead was 25 points at one time in the second half. Dowling's largest lead was 2 points in the first half. So, Steve, let's look at some of the numbers. You got the unofficial, but I think they're pretty official, shooting percentages, turnovers, and rebounds. Take it away.
For the Johnston Dragons, the winner tonight, 11 for 26 on the night. Hang on a minute. That was in the second half. 21 for the game for 47. That's 46% for the Johnston Dragon. For the Maroons, unfortunately, just couldn't get it going again from the perimeter or inside the 2-point line. But overall, 12 for 52, and that's 23% for the Maroons. So that speaks volumes as to how come they weren't a little bit closer tonight. Rebounds were pretty even. Johnston 22. The Maroons had 20, and turnovers were even at 9 apiece. But Stephen Kramer and the lack of shooting by the Maroons was the difference.
Yeah, Dowling, that's their season low for turnovers. They come in averaging 12 turnovers a game. Johnston right at their average of 9. And a very good defensive game, but unfortunately the Maroons didn't have enough offense, only scoring 31 points, holding Johnston to 55 points. The Dragons come in averaging 70 points on the season, but held to 55 tonight. But unfortunately, they held Dowling lower at 31 for the win. We're going to take a break. It'll be our final break of our season-long coverage of Dowling Catholic football and basketball here in the Iowa Catholic Radio Network. We'll come back with final thoughts. Along with Steve DeVay, I'm Mark Amadale. Our studio producer tonight is Brady Grimm. We appreciate Brady being back at the Iowa Catholic Radio Studios in West Des Moines. Our broadcast tonight originated from Indianola High School. Thanks to Lee Nelson and all the athletics department here for their support as they hosted this game. And it was Johnston, the final score. Johnston 55, Dowling Catholic 31. Johnston moves on to the Boys State Basketball Tournament next week, beginning on Wednesday morning. We'll take our final break and come back with final thoughts here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Did you know you have a choice in your child's education? Smaller class sizes, dedicated teachers, a sense of community, and a caring learning environment. Whether it's in the classroom or at home, Diocese of Des Moines Catholic Schools deliver the best value in education, and we offer tuition assistance to help you afford it. Learn more about how the Catholic schools in the Des Moines Diocese might be the right choice for your child. Visit dmdiocese.org/schools.
Hi, this is Matt Wilkham, Executive Director for Iowa Catholic Radio. A sincere thank you to all those who responded during our Spring Carathon. Your generosity means thousands of souls will continue to receive the message of faith and hope found only in Jesus Christ and His Church. If you didn't get a chance to give, it's not too late to pledge your support, and matching dollars are still available. Call 515-223-1150 or donate online at iowacatholicradio.com. Thank you.
And we're back here at the Indianola High School gym alongside Steve DeVinny, Mark Amadale. And Steve, it's always tough when it's the final game, and especially when the final game's not at Wells Fargo Arena when you're playing the state tournament. But it was all Johnston tonight. Defensively, they had enough offense as they defeat Dowling Catholic 55-31, ending the Dowling season. Dowling boys finished with a record of 9-15. Johnston advances to this boys state tournament next week with a record of 19-4. And Mr. DeVinny, not a whole lot to say. You mentioned some of the kids that have you've been in this program with the MBA that Dowling runs in their youth. Some of these kids were part of that, and some weren't. But you've seen them for 6 years maybe at times. And tonight their high school basketball season comes to an end.
Yeah, some really, really good kids in the program, and you hate to see them go down like this, but. Such is life, and we've all won some and we've all lost some. But once again, I'll read the seniors' names: Carson Brown, Quincy Ferguson, Ben and Charlie Stewart, Mata Brua, and Jalen Pettis. And we need to thank those guys for their effort all year. Didn't have the greatest record, but boy, effort was always there once they tipped the ball up, and they competed hard. Tonight they were defeated by a team that first of all, is a very good team, and second of all, played very well when they needed to.
They certainly did. And for the Maroons, we go back to end of November, early December when we started our broadcast. I think it was the first Friday in December we started, and Dowling had a whole 10 minutes of experience from last year, and that was Carson Brown and Quincy Ferguson playing in the back end of some of those games where, as you know, Dowling finished at the state tournament, losing in the first round to Johnston last year, if you remember right, at Wells Fargo Arena. But that was all the experience Dowling had. It was this is basically the JVers last year that all of a sudden are in the CIML, the toughest conference in the league, or in the state, and in one of the toughest leagues and within the conference, the Central Conference.
Yeah.
And now they're starters. And then you get Mata Brua along with Jalen Pettis, who were football players, and they played a little freshman and sophomore basketball. They come out their senior year, didn't come out their junior year, and then you get that benefit of having two guys in the post. So a very inexperienced team, and to go through this season and this league is a credit to them, and they hung in there. There was a couple of games they went south on, and one of them was the trip to Cedar Rapids Kennedy, who's third ranked, and they're playing tonight for a berth in the state tournament. But very few games can I think of when you look at their schedule, Steve, that they were really got outplayed. They've been in it, they were in it, and they played hard, but this was one of few games that they were really out of it.
Totally agree. Maroons, every time they took the court, for the most part, with the exception of 2 or 3 regular season games, they kept it close and they battled into the fourth quarter. And tonight it just got out of hand a little bit quicker. And but once again, give credit to Johnston. They've been there, they've done that, and they've got a chip on their shoulder. Their job will not be finished, I don't think, in their own minds without a state championship. So
that's great. That's correct, and they'll find out their opponent hopefully tonight, maybe tomorrow, as all the other games come in. We should mention some of the other substates that are going on tonight. These are all playing for a berth in the state tournament next week in Class 4A. Over in Dallas Center Grimes, the game being played is Ankeny-Waukee. That winner will go to state next week. Ames-Hoover winner, that game being played at Ankeny Centennial. The Ames-Hoover winner will go to state. And Valley and Cedar Falls, that game up in Marshalltown, and the winner of that game will go to state. Others around here has Waukee Northwest taking on Urbandale. That game's at Des Moines Lincoln tonight. And Cedar Rapids Prairie and Dubuque Hempstead winner, Pleasant Valley Burlington winner, and Cedar Rapids Kennedy and Cedar Rapids Washington winners, all hoping for a state tournament berth, as last night it was a Class 3A teams that advanced. And right here they had a dandy. I think Lee Nelson, he said, when we host, we're raising money for our booster club. They got a brand new floor last year. These are brand new bleachers. And they hosted last night's Winterset Pella game. And the attendance last night was probably more than tonight, to be quite honest. But we appreciate what Indianola does. The boys, they have neutral sites. The girls have the highest seed hosts. Well, the boys, it's neutral site, and tonight it's Indianola. Haven't been down here since they left the CIML, Steve, so it's good to be back.
Nope, great facilities, great community, great sports community, and they were great hosts tonight, but unfortunately the Maroons came up a little short.
Steve, I appreciate all your time this year. You, Jimmy Cataldo, that have helped us. Even the Grandview football coach, he's not a loss for words. His brother won.
Yep.
Joe Woodley.
Number 2 in the country.
That's right.
NAIA football this past fall.
That's right.
Yeah.
Number 2 in the country.
Season.
Yeah, they did. And our thanks to all the folks at Johnston tonight. That includes Brian Frick, their head coach. Their team now 19-3 with the win over Dowling and 7th ranked. Josh Toby, who's leaving for the other Warren County school, Norwalk, here at July 1st. Josh does a good job, and everybody back behind the scenes at Johnston, Tammy Nelson, activities secretary, and Randy Sparks, who does a great job with their Team One Sports. They stream all their home games and events, whether it be show choir. I think Randy didn't make the trek tonight, but he said he'll be listening as they have something going on at Johnston High. But congratulations to them. And, Steve, again, thanks to all you do, and thanks to everybody that's helped me this year, including Jimmy Cataldo. He might have helped me get in the way more than he actually helped, but he did a good job.
Oh, he did a great job for the girls' broadcasts. Yeah.
He did.
He's the man.
And everybody else that dared to step next to me and help. Scott Babinat did a great job. When you were gone, I got Scott to do the girls, and Jimmy moved up to the boys, and he wanted to go back to the girls because the boys are a little bit more faster paced than the girls. So,
yeah. Well, I'll tell you, for everything that you've done for this school and the community over the years, I think you've been on the microphone now for 35 plus years.
40. This
40
is year
years.
40.
Yeah. And nobody does that. Maroons are so lucky to have their own radio station and their own network. And what a nice career you've had representing the Maroons all these years. And
well, thank you for that, Steve. I got just a text from somebody who said retire early.
I love
or retire already, and that's from the guy that sits next to me in game 1 of doubleheaders.
Gee whiz.
So, but I'll take that. I can take that.
Hey, listen.
He's listening on the way home.
You're in the Hall of Fame for a reason over here at Dowling.
Well, thank you. And thanks to everybody that's been involved. Our listeners out there, it's been a lot of fun. We're going to continue with spring sports. We'll be bringing you Dowling soccer and summer baseball and softball. Joe Stacy, we hope we can line him up. We'll come out with that schedule. We'll have all that posted on iowacatholicradio.com. Soccer doesn't start till April, so we got a month to get that all figured out, and we'll let the boys that handle that get that taken care of. But we appreciate it. And, Steve, this goes back to August, State Fair time. We started our broadcast with Dowling football and Coach Wilson. We should thank him. He's been very supportive of our broadcasts and even comes on the radio once in a while. We got him on.
Yep. Coach Wilson and Coach O'Connor, the athletic director, and the assistant athletic director, were both here tonight supporting the Maroons.
That's right.
So the Maroons had a pretty good student section, pretty good crowd overall, really. I think they had more numbers here than Johnston did.
They did.
But,
they did. A little bit louder. Because a lot of fun during, we go to timeout and we go to a commercial. You hear the students banter back and forth in a respectful way.
Yep.
Now, the adults, that's different, but the students did a good job.
Yep.
Steve, thank you. And
thanks again, Mark.
I appreciate you taking time out of your day and helping us. I know you travel all over the country with your work, and we appreciate the time you take away. Now, your wife said you need to find more games, so we may have you help out with soccer and baseball in the summer.
You never know, Mark.
When you're not around, she appreciates that, I think, She knows where you're at.
After 34 years of marriage, I would say whatever it takes.
Grandchildren, and she wants to watch them, not you. He doesn't want the grandpa around.
Yeah.
All right, Steve, thank you.
Thanks again, Mark.
Steve DeVinny, my broadcast partner tonight. I want to thank him and everybody else that sat next to me, Scott Babinat, and the one and only Jimmy Cataldo. Yeah, he's listening, heading back home to the south side of Des Moines. And that'll wrap up our broadcast, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Again, Athletic Director Tom Wilson, our thanks to the folks at Dowling, Colleen Webb, Michael Connor, people behind the scenes, Matt Mainring, who's also my broadcast partner for football. Thanks to Matt. And our IT folks, Michelle Jameson and Dolo Osaga. Appreciate all they did, all the work to get us set up at Dowling. Our studio producers throughout the year have been Jeff Piggott, Jimmy Olson, Deacon Tony Valdez, and Brady Grimm tonight. Thank you for you all. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be able to broadcast. And thanks to our business underwriters and supporters of Iowa Catholic Radio in our 45th year of broadcasting Dowling Catholic Sports. And we want to thank Ashworth Vision, along with Skeffington's Formal Wear, Construction Professionals, Catholic Tuition Organization, Mercy One, and Dental Associates. Without them, and if you happen to patronize our sponsors, let them know you heard the game or the matches here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network. Our thanks to everybody at Johnston and Athletic Director Lee Nelson here at Indianola High School. Congratulations to the Johnston Dragons. Again, the final, Johnston 55, Dowling Catholic 31. Johnston advances to the Boys State Basketball Tournament, and they'll find out their opponent later on tonight or early tomorrow morning. For my broadcast partner, Steve DeVinny, this is Mark Amadale. Our next broadcast will be boys soccer this spring, and join us as we'll have that schedule up on the Iowa Catholic Radio website soon. And of course, we will hope to bring you Dowling girls and girls softball and Dowling baseball again this summer with Joe Stacy. So for everybody involved, you've been listening to the official radio network of Dowling Catholic Sports and Activities. We broadcast at 11:50 a.m. in Des Moines, along with 94.5 FM in Des Moines. Other transmitters, 88.5 FM in Adel and 90.9 FM in Creston, our newest transmitter to bring you Dowling Catholic Sports and Activities. Once again, for our studio producer, Brady Grimm, this is Mark Amadale, and for my partner, Steve DeVinny, have a great and faith-filled weekend and week. As a final score, once again, Johnston 55, Dowling Catholic 31. From all of us here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network, have a safe and blessed evening.
Our coverage of Dowling Catholic Sports is underwritten by Ashworth Vision Clinic, Construction Professionals, Dental Associates, the Catholic Tuition Organization, Mercy One, and Skeffington's Formalware. Thank you for supporting the businesses that underwrite Iowa Catholic Radio. The proceeding has been a Dowling Catholic Sports presentation on Iowa Catholic Radio.